Welcome back to another episode of Three Blue Trucks. Well, we are going to do some more work today. Which one are we working on today? Are we working on Bluebell, Old Blue, or Wilson? Wilson? Oh, that backwards there. Okay. No, we're actually going to be working on this guy right here. Ingrid, the silver Mazda 6. We're going to be doing some work on that. What are we doing? Well, let me show you. Got the old boxes from Rock Auto here. What do we have? And here we are. Strut time. Time to replace some struts and rear. I ain't quite got the box all the way open, but rear shocks as well. So that is what we're going to be doing right there. So with any luck, we'll have that done today, and maybe we'll have some tips and everything on there. I haven't found a whole lot on it on YouTube. I found one other person that changed those out before, so we're going to see how it goes, and hopefully it all works out well. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. All right, first thing to do, of course, is going to be to jack the car up. Got my jack stands. Don't have to get up under here. Jack it up. Loosen up the lug nuts so I can take the wheels off. I'm gonna start with the front. What I think is probably gonna be the hardest for the struts. But yeah, a little bit of rust, a little bit of. They're making a lot of rubbing, grinding sounds and everything every time you turn. Feeling a little rough. Yeah, it might be about time for some new tires soon too, looking like. So I'll be looking at that a little later on. But we're gonna get started on this. So yeah, first thing to do, jack this thing up. So let's get at it. All right, well, we got wheels off. Looking underneath here to see what we got to deal with. Looks pretty straightforward as far as replacing the front struts. Again, this is a 2012 Mazda 6 I model with the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. So we've got 3 bolts up here. 1, 2, 3, 15 millimeter we're gonna be doing. Then we've got the brake line here. I believe that was a 12 mount. That's basically just mounting it to it. And we've got down here on the fork, we have a 15, I believe that is, or maybe 14. No, that's 15, and a 17 on the opposite side down here. Oh, I'll point to it. There we go. And you also have to loosen this one here, which is a 14. So we're gonna get right into it and see how this goes. Here's our new struts I'm putting in here. Gabriel Ultra Ready Mount. Well, that one's not open yet. I'll just show you. This is the new strut. This is actually the passenger side one. I went ahead and decided to just go not with anything performance minded so much, but I did want to go ahead and get it with the full assembled, because I don't want to risk life and limb trying to change out a spring and everything. You might as well just change it all anyways. So this should go in pretty easily enough. So without further ado, here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and start now. We're gonna loosen up the top bolts up here first of all, just to get them loose so we've got them ready. I'm not actually gonna take them all the way off. And of course, we're gonna throw that down on the ground there, Rue. So I'm back and actually, nope, went right down to Jeremiah there. So he caught it for me. Because, so anyhow, what I was fixing to say is I'm only gonna do these 3 on the corners here. You don't wanna do this one. That's actually the one you will loosen if you were to take the spring off the strut. We are not doing that, as I mentioned earlier. So just these 3 here. Now we're gonna kind of move down to the bottom. We've got all those a little bit loosened up. We're gonna move down. All right. First thing, we'll go ahead and loosen the brake line mount. Oh, and look, Grayson is back. He's got to check on our progress, see how things are going. Everything looking good so far, Grayson? Are they meeting your expectations? Good so far? All right. Okay, so back to where we were now. We're gonna go ahead and get this A-arm type thing. Sorry, I know I don't know what all these are called under here, but we gotta get that loosened. So we're gonna go ahead and break that loose, get it taken out. So like I said, we got one bolt up top here. That was, what did we say that was? 15 millimeter. 17 millimeter was down at the bottom. Okay, that's loose now, so that probably might give us enough. We'll find out here shortly. Okay, actually, let's go ahead and hit the guys down there on the bottom. Like I said, we've got one over here. It's 14 millimeter, and on 15 millimeter, and this size is 17 millimeter. Sorry, I'm gonna get these sizes all right sooner or later.
You need to put that side.
Okay.
Side.
We got 17 millimeter nut off, and now we're pulling nice and easy. Came right out. So we got those there, and it's loosened up. The strut itself is actually kind of loose. Sorry, didn't get zoomed in there correctly. So we're gonna loosen up this little arm here so that it can actually drop out of the way, and that should allow us to get to the strut the rest of the way. Loosen that up with a 14 millimeter, and hopefully I'll just slide right out of there, and that'll allow the fork to drop. So to remove this little nut here, we realized you've actually got to hold the center of it with a 5 millimeter Allen key, hex key, and of course you use your 14 millimeter wrench to turn the nut to get it off there. Is that actually backing off that now, it seems like? Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay. Yeah. So we were just kind of spinning for a while doing nothing. We've learned a little bit of something there. Like I said, I can't remember what that's called. So if you know, hey, let me know. I'm sure I'll figure it out. While I'm at it, also, we have realized, looking at this guy right here, that bushing appears to be a little shot. So we're probably gonna have to do a little replacement. Yeah, there's some grease coming out. So another thing to look at, changing out. Maybe see if we can do that while we're under here doing all this other stuff. If the local parts place happens to have one in stock, we can get quickly enough. So we'll see. All right, so we'll loosen this bolt up, and this thing will just drop right out. Next thing now, we go up here and loosen up the top. So if you'll hold that down there, Jeremiah, I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling these off. Nice that these things are already loosened. Two, and kind of where the third one should be dropping down. Kind of lift it up a little bit. There we go. All right, all three are off. Should come kind of straight down and out, like that. And we have, oh yeah, watch her. All right, there's the old versus the new. All right, so I'm gonna take a look under here while I've got that out, and yeah, it looks like the tie rod boot is shot, losing the grease out of there. Sway bar link, figured out what this was called. Looks like we're okay on this. I don't see anything really going on too funky with it. Seems to be doing fine there too. Boots are looking pretty decent. This guy, however, part of the control arm bushing looks a little rough there. That bushing looks okay, but yeah, this one looks like it might be a little rough. Might need some work on that one too. Oh, looking underneath here. Outer side. I think we're looking okay there. That's still looking good. No issues with the CV joints, looks like. No CV axle issues that I can see. A little dirt and such like that, but doesn't look too awful bad. So honestly, biggest thing looks like this guy here needs attention maybe the soonest. Whew. Other than that, even that's looking pretty good up there. So we're gonna get the new strut in, and then we're gonna move on to the passenger side, and hopefully we can get to the rear shocks today, and we'll move on. Kind of interesting as I'm viewing and looking at all this stuff. So of course right here you can see it says Mazda, but of course 2012 was when, well, Ford still had a controlling interest. So what does the brake caliper say? Ford Motor Company. Yep. Outsourcing their, well, not outsourcing their parts, but you know, sharing the parts bin. Anyhow, on to the next thing. All right, and installation is nothing more than reversal of removal, right? Right, maybe. We'll find out. Yeah, we switch places. Jeremiah's up top now, I'm on the bottom for a little bit. Get this thing lined up. 1 hole, 2 holes, 3 holes. All right, slap some nuts on that. Look at that. Looks shinier already, newer already, nice. All right, let's get this tightened up a little bit and get some more going. All right. So tighten up the nut on the sway bar link. Hopefully this is actually tightening. It does not seem like it's doing anything right now. There we go. Maybe. Just discussing how that'd probably be easier if I actually had a ratcheting wrench on here, but right now I'm just using what I have in front of me. Sometimes going to get something that makes the job a little bit faster or easier takes more time than just going ahead and doing what you got tools with. So time and place for different tools and such. Anyhow, gonna get that snugged up good and tight there. All right, sway bar link is connected. Again, 5mm Allen key and a 14mm wrench. And I'm gonna go in here and tighten this up a little bit more. Tighten the clamp onto the bottom of the strut itself. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my 17mm. I'm gonna go the other side. That's an 18mm. I thought you said 17 earlier. Jeremiah lied to me earlier. He told me 17mm.
Actually,
Unless I can't read, this is an 18mm.
You said 17 first. That's what threw me off.
Trying to trick me. Anyhow, the nice thing was with this, like I said, it's got over on this side here, you have that little stopper block, and that actually helps tighten everything up. You don't even have to have two hands really to do it. So that's good. Ooh, good and tight. Good and tight. All right, so we're getting started on the passenger side. This one should go a little bit faster now that we've got a little experience on how we're doing it. And yeah, he's already got the brake done, got that bottom one done there. Looking again at here, and same thing. Tie rod boot is bad. Looks like again our control arm front bushing might be a little bit rough too, but the boots all seem to look good. No major issues there, and yeah, that don't look bad either. So really, it looks like my main thing is just going to be changing out the tie rod ends or something like that. Well, I say there's no grease. I'm hoping that's the old grease, because I think we've had the CV axles replaced on this a long time ago. I may have to do a little more inspecting to make sure, because there is some grease piled up inside by that inner CV axle. So we'll take a look and see what we find. Side's going much faster. Not going to do as much filming because it's basically the same thing as what you just saw on the other side. So no new updates other than, like I said, it's going a little bit faster now that we've learned a little bit more on how to do it. And yeah, we're ready to pull the old strut out. All right, you got a hold of it down there. 1, 2. All right, here comes the third one. Ready to receive. And all right, there we go. Watch your brake line there. Jinxed herself, because yeah, you went out the other side last time. You went towards the front, so it made it a little easier. I think you're binding up on there now. You're gonna have to come out the other way instead. Yeah, go back up and with it and come back up the front. All right, on to the back tires. We got it jacked up. Front tires are back on. We'll tighten them up in a little bit here. Got the back tires broke loose. We're gonna get them off here shortly. Kind of tag teaming. I got one side, Jeremiah's got the other. Trying to do this in some decent amount of time instead of taking quite as long as it sometimes does. Always got other things going on, so a lot of times doing this work at a time crunch. So anyhow, we'll come back when we get this ready. All right, so we're on the rear now. Got the tire off driver's side. Looks like this is going to be pretty complicated. We have a bolt up here, I think 17mm, and and one back here. That we'll have to undo. I think that may be a 17 as well. Or is it larger?
It might be an 18.
Might be an 18 on that one. So, figure that out. And not a whole lot to it, looks like. So we're gonna get right to it. I say we're gonna get right to it. Jeremiah's got to put one more oomph on it. There he goes. Put that Harbor Freight Special to work. Some Harbor Freight tools, you know how they are. If you expect them to last a long time, they'll last one job. Then if you get them just for one job, they'll hold on and last a long time. So, a lot of times they say you get what you pay for. And as long as you're expecting that, just leave that until you get the bottom one. But as long as you're expecting that, I guess you'll be all right? So, all right, I'm gonna get these other shocks ready to go. So I'll be right back. Jeremiah said this is not gonna be easy. Something tells me it's probably tight. All right, so we're on the passenger side. We got the driver's side done. Had a little bit of an issue, but yeah, it is simple enough as one bolt up there, 17 millimeter, one bolt back here somewhere. It's an 18 millimeter, sorry. Anyhow, it's very, very, very tight. We had to struggle with it for quite a bit until we had to borrow the big gun. Unfortunately, we don't have 18 millimeter impact socket, but big guy there finally took care of it. So we're gonna do the same thing here now. Hopefully pop this loose pretty quickly. Oh, short work of that. So yeah, sometimes when all else fails, get out the impact. Easy peasy, comes right on out. I guess we'll take a look at everything else in here while we're at it. Yeah, we got some bushings going bad in there too, looks like. Looking like those guys are starting to rough out a little bit, get a little rotted. Bump stops are definitely dried out real bad. Yeah, looking like we may have to start replacing a bunch of rubber components if we want to keep this thing going. So we'll see what we do. But anyways, go ahead and put the next shock in. We want some Monroe OE Spectrum, basically just OEM type. Didn't really do much to change the ride quality. Doesn't ride too bad. We don't really do a lot of sporty action with this or anything like that. There's a time I probably would have gone with KYB or something like that, which I kind of looked at doing, but we didn't do that now. Here, let's get the jack up under there, kind of raise it up a little, it'll help some. Not that it's needed, but it helps. About right where we want it. There you go. Where did the bolt go? It's always the last place you had it, the first place you can't find it. Where did it go? See, that's what's good about this channel. We'll show you some of the struggles that we deal with. you know the pie chart, 95% of the time spent doing a job is looking for the tool you just had or the bolt you just had. And we got it. Threads in nice and easy. Bolt on the bottom's in there pretty good too, so get these tightened down. The back shocks will be done. Don't really see any reason for the springs to be changed out now, so I think we'll be all right with that. That obviously would take a little more work to do, dropping a few more bolts or whatever, and just kind of dropping the little pan out of it there. But wow, just like that, that's in there. Snug it up, make sure it's good and tight, and that's it. Put everything back together, drop it down, and we'll take it for a little drive. Let's see how it goes. Alright, driving along, making sure everything is feeling good, feeling tight, the way it should. Listening for any strange noises and stuff like that. So far, so good. Everything's good, so we'll just check it all tight when we get back. Alrighty, well, we're just back. Everything seems to be doing well, so thanks for watching this episode of 3 blue trucks and 1 silver car. Hope that maybe it was informative to anybody. Like I said, didn't really find a whole lot of information out there for changing the struts and the shocks on these, but seems to be pretty straightforward to do anyhow, so maybe that's why there wasn't much out there. But anyways, hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please like, subscribe, share it, tell others about it. You know, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments and everything like that. Let me know you're watching. As always,